Homestead today. I'm just going to do a short little video. It's been a while. It's been windy. It's been cold. Do a short little video on the garden beds up top here where I usually do a lot of the smaller stuff. I'll be adding pretty much hay, wood chips, and goat manure to these beds to kind of pre-fertilize, get them ready for spring planting. It'll kind of break down by then, but a lot of times I water it kind of at the beginning of the season, let it really break down a little more, get that nice thick kind of dark brown layer underneath that really feeds the plants. I'll give you guys a little walk around of what I'm doing here. So like, this is a bed that hasn't been done yet. I did this one and the one next to it just to see if I was gonna have enough manure and bedding stuff to do all of it. And here's the bedding pile. Don't mind those window frames. I pulled those out of the shed, so they're going. But this is the bedding pile. I got everything cleaned up out of here before I did this video. It's kind of boring cleaning everything up anyway. So anyway, we'll get started on that. I cut the whole mint bush down because it's all dead. I usually cut it down every year and it grows back. I'll be doing around the strawberry plants with the same manure. They're starting to green up right now. Now that things are starting to get warm, so we'll get started on this. Other than that, I usually just throw it on there. So if you guys got something else, I mean, yeah, I could let it compost for a year, but I just pulled this out of the stall where the mother goat and her kids were. It was getting deep, so I pulled it out. My one mother goat, or my one doe goat, will be kidding soon, I think. She's big. Her mucus plug was kind of hanging out the other day, so usually that's the first signs of labor, but we'll see when that day comes. So stay tuned, we'll get started on this and see what you guys think. It's been rained on too, but I like to get a nice thick kind of layer in there, spread it out. And I'll put some of the finer stuff on top. I like to break it up though, so it's not just packed in there, otherwise it doesn't really do much. You guys can see some of that broke down in the stall. Some of my boards are starting to rot out, but that's alright. I think I got one more season on them. This is some of that thinner stuff. You just spread around on top. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you guys do your research, goat manure and sheep manure is some of the best manure that you can put on a garden. It doesn't, even throughout the season, it doesn't burn your plants. Being that it's so small pelletized, it releases slowly down into the soil, compared to like cow manure. Horse manure is very fibery. It's great, works great. I've used it a lot. Use cow manure a lot. But goat manure just releases more slowly because it's a smaller pellet. So it doesn't, I guess when it rains and whatnot, it doesn't get as wet per se. Doesn't wash away as fast. So I'll knock this bed out and the other one over there, and then we'll put some around the strawberry plants and get them started. That one pretty quick. I usually do 2 cherry tomatoes in these tires. I have a third right there that I've done. So we'll knock these out quick too. So last year I did the same thing, and that's what's left of it. Everything is broken down in, really. And I mean, if you really didn't want just the wood shavings on there, they hold moisture though, you can just rake them out. I usually just leave them in, but one of these wire rakes works great. Oh, that will break down though. And if this isn't broke down by the time I plant, I'll just take and I'll move that stuff away, like move the hay and the manure and the shavings and stuff away, get down as far as I can, and I can just put my plant start right in the middle, and that'll just constantly feed that root system for that small plant. And believe it or not, they take off like crazy. And the tire will hold moisture in the ring there. I have dirt packed all the way on the inside. When I filled it, I just kept pushing it to the sides until I got it up to the height I wanted. And when you water them, it soaks in, and then it soaks in the tire. And yeah, the tire kind of heats up, but that water stays in there and just slowly soaks back into the plant. This is a spearmint plant. I gotta cut all that out, and once I get it cut out, you can see all the new growth of that spearmint plant coming up. start tucking some of this around the bases of plants. Some of the old growth. Pull that out of there. These will take off, so I'm not that worried about burying any of these either like this, because they'll pop back up too if I get them too buried in there. I got some of these started around here. Now I can just kind of work some around the outsides of those ones. Here's another small one. And another one right here. They didn't do the greatest last year. It was the first year planting them in this bed. Wasn't sure what to expect, but they are starting to wander over here. So I can just take my fingers and get all the dead stuff out. This because the plants will reach for those nutrients and they'll spread out, especially strawberry plants. They'll venture out like you guys just seen over here to get some of the nutrients, and they'll start making new leads off to get more plants out of it. See how green that's coming in already? So I wanted to get some of these done. Alright, so you guys can see I just packed it around, lifted up all those, get those leaves above the ground, above the fertilizer, and then they can get sunlight and everything. And I only have one more bed to do. I don't think I'm going to bore you guys with that one. It's the same size as the other ones. It's one I usually use for like celery and stuff, so not much to it. I'm gonna throw some in there and be done with it. Stick around. This week I will be doing another goat pen to be able to move the goats from one pen to another, so that way, I won't say a pen, kinda, I guess a pen, but to move them over to another spot where they could kind of get some grass, let the other one recover a little bit, and then come back over. Just go back and forth. So they have another 50 foot by 28 foot, 28 to 30 feet spot that they'll be able to roam. I'll kind of show you guys. I just put up the T-post right here, just to the left of this, the fire pit. I use that area where that tall grass is. That's where I put my drain in last year, and it drains over into my ditch. As you can see, the roadway is a mess. It's gonna get stone on it this year, but they'll be able to keep all that grass right there chewed down, because I mow over on the other side over here, but it's a pain because it's all uneven right now because it was kind of quickly done last year, just to try to help all the animals out with all the runoff downhill. So they can chew that down. There's gonna be a new piece of pipe put in through right there because it got crushed by a tractor when my buddy came to backfill with me, and then it'll get dug across and go over into the ditch. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the goat pen build. The T-posts are just set there. They're not in the ground yet, so things can change. So make sure you come back and see what is going to go on with the pen. If you guys have any other ideas on size, I guess, for the goats, there's 4 adults. I would like to do a spot for my male, my buck, to separate him, so I can kind of control when they're gonna have kids. I like spring babies, but you know, right now he's in there roaming with them. Last year was kind of quick build on that pen, but they're satisfied with where they're at. But the grass is getting short because they've chewed it down. They're already picking at it because it's turning green. So I'm hoping in the next few weeks, maybe a month, who knows, this will all be growing up green, and I'll be able to move them over into another spot where they can kind of roam and eat all that grass as well. Let that side recover, and then I can put them back over, and they got a whole new fresh. I'm just going to rotate them back and forth, just pasture rotation. I just came up with this year. I was going to kind of leave them over there and then supplement hay, but if I can move them and I have the property to do it, I'm going to do it. So make sure you guys come back for that, like I said, and hopefully soon we'll be planting the garden as well. Hopefully all this manure and stuff pays off and we get a good yield again this year. I'll be doing the potato bed that I explained to you guys last year. I think last year it was already done, and then I pulled all the potatoes that you guys seen. So stay tuned, we'll do that as well. Spring is going to be a busy time of the year, so make sure you guys stick around for all of the fun gardening tips and tricks and the fun. Stay tuned, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're digging my content here, and we'll keep making it. Thanks, guys.